Welcome to this breakdown of the Skilly safeguarding protocol. We're looking specifically at human-led well-being alerts today. So picture this, you're a teacher, right? You're sitting down at the end of a really long day grading a huge stack of weekly reflections. Most of them are totally routine, but every so often, you read a sentence that just makes you pause. Let's jump right into exactly how this highly practical system handles those sensitive moments from your viewpoint in the classroom. There's absolutely no room for sensationalism here. Just clear, honest processes that empower you.
Okay, so how do we hear the pupils who are quietest on the page? If you're a classroom teacher, you know this reality all too well. Your students are doing written reflections, and honestly, most of the time things are perfectly fine. But sometimes a reflection hints at something harder. And the thing is, it usually isn't this loud cry for help. It's a quiet signal. A student writing something like, "I'm just kind of tired of trying lately." Or maybe, "Everything feels really loud in my head this week." As educators, we know the pupils who most need our help are often hiding behind these really subtle phrases. They might drop a single, tiny hint in an absolute sea of text. So the real question is, amidst a crazy busy school week with hundreds of students, how on earth do we make sure we hear them? How do we ensure those quiet signals aren't missed when you already have so much on your plate?
Well, Skilly's job is to ensure that line doesn't get missed. It acts as this incredibly supportive safety net. Its primary function is actually pretty simple, but it is absolutely crucial. What makes this protocol unique, and frankly a huge relief, is how it catches these signals. Think about traditional alerts, right? The ones that cause unnecessary panic, loud alarms, urgent red flags popping up everywhere. Skilly doesn't do that. No way. There are no flashing lights causing anxiety for you or the student. It operates more like a calm, quiet presence in the background. It gently filters through the noise, catching those subtle moments of low mood or anxiety, so you don't have to stress about missing them.
So what does it actually look like when a concern is noticed? The platform quietly surfaces the info to you through a well-being alert flag card. And here's the absolute best part. It shows you the pupil's own quoted line, exactly what they wrote. It doesn't paraphrase them, it doesn't try to summarize, and it definitely doesn't twist their words through some weird black box algorithm. You see exactly what the student wrote, right alongside a short, calm, professional observation. Now, why does this matter so much? Because, as we know, context is literally everything. Seeing their exact phrasing lets you prepare for a conversation using their own vocabulary, completely free from any assumptions. You get to enter that conversation fully informed.
Now, let's look at Skilly's role versus what it absolutely never does. This is a strict, clear boundary that should honestly reassure any educator using the platform. On one side, Skilly's role. It surfaces signals to adults and provides those professional observations we just talked about. On the other side, what Skilly never does? It never provides a medical or psychological diagnosis. And it never, ever puts a label on a child. For a classroom teacher, this boundary is a massive relief, right? Because you're an educator, you're not a clinician. The system respects that line completely. It simply gives you the awareness you need to check in and start the right conversation with that student. Nothing more, nothing less.
To build on that boundary, we have to talk about automation, because in today's tech landscape, software is constantly trying to, take the wheel and do everything for us. But Skilly takes a firm, deliberate step back when it comes to safeguarding. Let me be incredibly clear here, because this is vital for your autonomy in the classroom. Skilly is never decided automatically. It doesn't email a parent, it doesn't escalate to your safeguarding lead on its own, it doesn't decide. It doesn't make any final choices behind your back. The software simply points to the signal. You remain entirely in the driver's seat, keeping full 100% control over how the situation is handled.
So how does this actually play out in your daily routine? It's a simple, human-led, three-step process. Step 1, read the signal. You just look at what's been surfaced. Step 2, and this is where your expertise really shines, apply human judgment. You know the student. You know if they just had a rough game at recess, or if this represents a sudden, worrying shift in their baseline behavior. Software can't possibly know that context. Only you do. And finally, step 3, log the chosen action. You just record what you decided to do, which creates a clear audit trail. Every single critical decision and resulting action stays right where it belongs, entirely under the full control of you, the trained educator.
Now, what happens in a more complex scenario? Like, say a student's reflection triggers multiple flags or overlapping concerns. As teachers, we know alert fatigue is a very real thing. If you see 5 minor flags, you might totally miss the one major one. Well, the platform has a really practical failsafe built right in to prevent this. The highest severity is the one shown, always.
This ensures that the most critical, pressing signal is never buried or hidden under less urgent noise. It guarantees your attention is immediately drawn to the exact issue that most requires your professional judgment.
The ultimate takeaway from this whole protocol is this. The duty of care stays with the trained adult. It stays exactly where it belongs, with the empathetic educator in the classroom. Technology shouldn't ever replace your judgment. It should empower it. Skilly simply ensures that you see what you need to see exactly when you need to see it, finally giving a voice to those quietest pupils on the page. So, as you look at your own classroom reading processes moving forward, ask yourself, how will you ensure no quiet signal goes unheard? Thanks for joining me for this breakdown. And remember, Skilly, practice to perform.